This is a show about getting spooked for fun, and neither one of the hosts are associated with the attractions discussed in any way, except for those skeletons in Devin's closet. Some topics may go from ghoulish to ghastly, so viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the Great American Scream.
Hey, Adam?
Yeah?
If you were to say who's the scariest, we've been, honestly, kids, avert your ears. We've been pussyfooting around it for long enough. Who's the scariest movie villain? Go, Adam.
The scariest movie villain?
Yeah, go, answer right now.
Shark. Jaws.
Shark, that's a good answer. My answer is
Jaws.
My answer is Brucker from Autopsy of a Horror Movie. And you know how I know he's so scary? He appears on this podcast right now. I'm looking at him.
Whoa!
Ooh, gotcha. Thank you for that.
Hey, welcome to the Great American Scream. My name is Devin Wright.
My name is Adam, and we're very happy today to have very special guest on the show with us today. Please welcome our dear friend from Autopsy of a Horror Movie, Brucker. Woo!
Thank you so much for having me on. It's great to collab again.
Yeah, we had Brucker on a while ago on our live stream, which we should live stream again soon, by the way.
Oh yeah, duh.
But I think it's Brucker's first time actually being on an episode, and man, did we pick a little stinker of a topic for this episode. Now,
boy,
didn't we?
Choose to put him through it.
No, this is going to be a fun topic. I'm happy because this required zero research on my end, so I'm just going to come and just roll with the punches.
You got the Devin experience of the podcast this week. Just getting to kind of come in, not knowing what the hell's going on.
I got the Devin special.
Yeah.
Well, this week, and again, this is a first for me that it is also not a research episode for me either, because, we're starting to get into spring. Next month is March Madness. The Olympics are happening right now. It's the season of competition.
This podcast is all about the sports. Hell yeah. Go Rams. So excited about it.
I was about to ask, are y'all NFC or AFC? Let's get into it.
NFC is what my amiibo does when I put it on the Switch, near field communication, and then AFC is the American Football Club.
So close.
Yeah. But so I thought it might be fun if, we're talking about sports teams, we're talking about Olympic events. It's
conference.
Good, nice.
I heard the synapses clap when that happened over the Zoom. Yeah, that's the
thing. I don't have many brain cells, but the ones I do have are really big. So when they make connections, you can hear it. It's like a light switch that's old.
But so I thought that, in the spirit of the season of competition, I thought it might be fun if we took some of our favorite horror villains, horror characters, and pitted them against each other, almost in a battle royale of sorts. I guess Olympics.
Ooh.
We could have put them through Olympic events, sort of a Mario and Sonic at the Olympics situation.
Adam, why do you always come up with better ideas after we've already started the show? It's
always the first draft.
Yeah, trademark.
When it comes to this.
Yeah,
horror villain Olympics.
You know how in the Olympics they throw all the swimmers and the shot putters and the skiers into a big bowl and make them fight?
Yeah, that's effectively what we're doing.
That's actually really not fair, because the people with the javelins, they obviously have a big weapon. And also, biathlons uses guns.
I didn't realize they could take them into the ring.
What?
I didn't realize they get to take the javelin with them into the ring.
Of course they do. What would be the point of having specifically javelin people and specifically shot put people if you're not going to equip them with their various weapons?
Well, don't forget all the curlers are in there with their brooms.
They've got the
brushes.
brooms, and that's
what's the
they're
puck
threatening.
Called in curling?
The stone, the curling stone.
Don't say that so matter of factly. Like, duh. I
love curling. You coming to here? We've been friends for 7-8 years at this point. You don't know that I love curling?
No. Anyway, I have picked a seed of I think 20 or so different horror characters, not based on any particular merit other than they're the ones that I thought of. B, I went a lot by popularity, the heavy hitters, the people that the people would want to see. But and a few wild cards in there. And it's who would wins are really fun. So I thought we should, pick 2 of these lovely characters out of a hat and make them fight to the death and debate
kill one
who
of
we
them.
think would win. Yeah. So I have a set of rules for this battle royale. Just some parameters, so we're at an agreement of exactly what our competitors are coming into the ring with. Firstly and foremostly, all of these villains can be armed with their signature weapon. So that would be Jason Voorhees has his machete. Leatherface obviously has the chainsaw. There are some without a signature weapon, and I think if we get to them, we can kind of discuss that. But most of these have a signature weapon that they will be able to fight with. Number 2, there are some characters that have predetermined settings that come with them. For example,
have to.
Yeah, anyone v. Bruce the Shark. It takes place on a boat.
It would be completely unfair for a fight with the shark to happen anywhere but in water, I would say.
All right, roll the giant dome filled with water into the ring, and that's where Bruce is.
Now, there are some, if we get to one of those is any fight with Bruce happens on a boat, but also any fights with the Xenomorph happens on a spaceship. So if we get Bruce v Xenomorph, we're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah, it's going to be a spaceship in the ocean.
Yeah, decide where exactly they're going to fight. And also, assuming that all villains are the OG versions of these villains, unless otherwise stated. So kind of talking from the first film of the franchise. So if any of them gets a weird power, somewhere down the line, usually not, unless it's very integral to their character.
We're not
included. I have a wheel. Thank you, wheeldecide.com, for the ability to create this wheel. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
But so I've put all these into a wheel. We're going to spin the wheel twice, see who we get, and debate how we think this competition would go down and who we think we would win. Of the lists that I have given you, my friends, we think we have any clear kind of heavy hitters, people to watch. Who the people to watch out for?
I think that the kind of premise of this list is if you're on it, you should watch out for the people that are on this list.
That's fair. You should watch out for all the people on this list.
I thought it was a really interesting choice to include all of these children's characters. I think Swiper was a good choice. I think Robbie Rotten might be really scary. And
Mojo
Megatron.
Jojo was interesting to see on here too. Yeah.
What about the underdog? Any underdogs? Any rookies that were rooting for?
Underdog from the Disney Channel original movie Underdog. Underdog.
And Kyle Massey specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some underdogs here. Really, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go ahead and say them because I think it'd be kind of fun and surprising for when these names do come up.
Yeah,
but people, I'm just going to tease that so people can go, oh my god, who's on the list? You got to listen.
I agree. I think there are some people whose movies are kind of about how realistic they are, which in terms of movie quality, usually a good thing. But in terms of a fight to the death, if you're getting paired against super scary magic guy and you're just a dude, you're gonna have a rough time.
Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, let's get our first pairing in. So I am spinning the wheel. It's making a lovely tick, tick, tick noise like it's Wheel of Fortune. Our first competitor, Slender Man from Slenderman from the creepypasta.
Okay.
Versus 2017 version of Pennywise.
Okay.
Interesting because both
not
of them. Yeah, not the old one.
Supernaturals.
With a common goal of, I guess a relatively common goal. Children.
Both kind of revolve around children. Slender Man just wants to get his good notebook back, and Pennywise is an eldritch horror that represents the fear in all of us. So,
this
is interesting.
Let's talk what they are working with here. So Pennywise obviously has the ability to take form of whatever it is that its opponent fears most, which begs the question, what does
Slenderman fear?
Exactly. What is it turning into for Slenderman?
Wrinkled clothing. And I think so, because he's very proper.
He's a sharply dressed man, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. For Slender Man, besides maybe teleporting, I'm not sure what his powers are.
Well, let's take a look. See, I'll be fact checking for this episode. to find out precise to just
we're gonna go on Characters Wiki.
That's exactly where I'm going.
Are.
I'm on the Villains Wiki. All right, Slenderman's powers. All right, so it depends
I'm also gonna go on the Villains
everything
Wiki.
Doug Jones can do.
You.
I suppose it depends on what we're talking. I'm going with original creepypasta Slenderman. His powers include nigh omnipotence, which I guess means he is everywhere technically currently, giving him a field kind of advantage. Teleportation, yes. Extra tentacle-like appendages, telepathy, hyper elasticity. That I didn't know about Slenderman.
Well, he has those big stretchy arms.
Yeah, he does have the big stretchy arms. Oh, virokinesis. We did talk that he can induce slender sickness, which is nausea and amnesia onto his victims.
That is interesting.
Shape-shifting, impersonation, memory wiping, causing mental instability. Whoa, he's got a very long list of powers here.
Yeah, that's because he's a create by committee character. You're gonna have everything.
So for Pennywise, Pennywise is trying to mimic something that scares you, but Slenderman, from what I remember, doesn't have any eyes. So can Slenderman actually, does he have the ability to observe something fearful and actually get scared?
I believe he does have the ability to see, but I guess you could
you have to ask the question of how does Slenderman perceive? Because if it's not through vision, I don't know that Pennywise can take on a form.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, Pennywise does not have to, because Pennywise can still do damage.
Pennywise can still screw up a guy without a physical form. I think that's fair.
Yeah, like physically, because we all saw the arm biting scene from the movie. So there is that, and I'm also just like picturing Pennywise tormenting him by just shredding pictures that Slenderman is in. Like, I'm erasing your evidence. You don't exist anymore.
Oh, this is interesting.
So sad.
I looked up Slenderman's weaknesses just out of curiosity to see if there's anything that Pennywise could have going on. One of Slenderman's weaknesses, and again, this is from the Guardianship Wiki, so really I don't know how what we're defining as definite fact here. But one of Slenderman's weakness is hydrokinesis. The Slenderman is made of sand. If he is hit with water or liquid substances, he will become mud, leaving him unable to move.
But he can't use telekinesis to like move the water away. I guess
not.
So
That's a game changer.
I have Pennywise. I have Pennywise's thing up here, and it seems that he has the power of eye color alteration, which is a big deal. No, but he also. This is interesting. We are pitting Jean Grey up against Professor Xavier.
Yeah,
it's two like psychokinetic players fighting against each other. It's kind of the perfect matchup, and I think instead of fighting, they may kiss.
This is fair.
This is an interesting round one. Yeah. This is because you think that this would have happened later on, but that's just how it happens sometimes.
It needs to start out. So in limitations/shortcomings, we have physics, which is pretty wide of a thing for Pennywise to be weak to. But that's the fact that it has to obey the laws of physics. So anytime it takes a form, like if it wants to fly, it has to have wings.
Yes.
If it wants to get through tight spaces, it has to become small. From the film series, which is what we're going from, aggression, physical violence, and verbal abuse, while deprived of fear, will cause it to shrivel and wither into a fetal blob. So this is not relevant to the fight because Slenderman can't talk. So now we're getting into it.
Isn't Pennywise also kind of like a Santa Claus situation where if you do not believe in his ability to harm you, then he cannot?
But now we're getting into Slenderman's belief system.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I want to put words in his mouth.
Yeah,
in his non-mouth.
In his not
exactly.
mouth. In his sand mouth.
Smooth face.
We really, from the jump, chose two characters that cannot harm each other and so must be in love.
Honestly, if they are not in love and are fighting to the death, I might have to give this one to Slenderman just because he's like a brick wall, right? nothing that Pennywise does, because he has no eyes nor mouth or really will parse a reaction. Like, nothing that Pennywise does will psychologically will have an effect on the Slender Man, therefore rendering Pennywise useless.
Right. Slender Man in his base form has tentacles and like immense strength and the ability to teleport. Pennywise has powers based on his form, right? So like, if Pennywise can't take on a Bogart, like he can't take on a physical form, he's useless.
I mean, he does have like a true form, though. It's just incomprehensible by the human eye. By the human eye.
Is it by the human eye, not the slender eye?
Not the slender non-eye.
Not the slender non-eye, which is a really good name for something.
For some, I don't know what, for something. I think I might have to give this one to Slenderman.
Slenderman. I think it is
I'm kind of going Slenderman as well.
I'm surprised, because when I put Slenderman in this running, I didn't think he was going to win anything. And
he's going to be a bit of a paper tiger,
Yeah, but I think in the Slenderman v. Pennywise battle, I'm going to have to give it to Slenderman.
Pennywise out in the first round.
Right? I'm shocked.
I had him going far.
Yeah.
I
had a side bet going, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to call my bookie.
There goes my first bet.
Yes,
I'm going to collect the winner, so at the end we'll have sort of a... so Slenderman v. Pennywise, round one, Slenderman v. Pennywise goes to the Slender Man. Congratulations, Slender Man.
Good job, Doug Jones.
Yeah, we should have known it was Doug Jones.
Please.
Of course. Quick side tangent, because when we were talking about that they would probably just kiss and fall in love, would their couple name be Slenderwise or Pennyman?
Slenderwise.
I mean, here's the thing: is like Slenderwise is very like hot and sexy, but Pennyman is very funny. So
yeah, it would depend on where the ship came from.
Yeah,
if the ship came from 2012 Tumblr, it would be Slenderwise. If it came from current Tumblr and it was a post-ironic ship, it would be Pennyman.
Pennyman.
And for those reasons, I choose Slenderwise.
Alrighty. Thank you. Bets off the table. Let's get to our next matchup. So spinning the wheel again. Let's see who we get. Our first competitor. The Candyman. He's one to beat.
Ooh.
He's one to beat. Candyman v. Chucky from Child's Play.
I thought you were about to say Candyman. Like Candyman is his greatest villain.
And I know, like, technically there's only one Candyman and all the Candymans are one Candyman, but I'm talking about Tony Todd here.
Of course.
Okay, so this is Candyman from Candyman versus Chucky from Child's Play. Lot going on here. Lot happening in this one.
See, I searched Chucky on the Villains fandom wiki, and it gave me Chucky Soul from Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Okay, that's a lot.
That's interesting.
Now,
I think you're on the wrong page.
Yeah, Chucky's got a lot going on because Chucky is also inherently he is just a doll, but he is also inherently supernatural.
But isn't he still limited to like to physics too and everything?
Yes, he is limited to what he can do in the doll's body, but he does have the power of voodoo, of fake movie voodoo.
We forgot about the racist voodoo power.
Yeah.
Oh.
And jeez.
I'm
kind of leaning Candyman right now.
I mean, initially my gut says Candyman, but let's examine this further.
All right.
He has the physicality.
Right. Yeah, because we're talking about Charles Lee Ray in the Chucky body. According to the Villains Wiki, his powers include high intelligence, debatable, criminal intuition. I would also not call that a power, but sure. Immortality. As long as he is in the doll, he is immortal. This is a good point.
But same thing for Candyman in a way, because as long as people talk about him on the corners, he's hit the mythos is still alive and everything.
This is fair. Murder skills. Again, I would not call this a power, Villains Wiki. Ability to detach and reattach his limbs, combat proficiency, gunmanship, trash talk, and proportional strength. Okay, all right.
I would like to highlight a section of the Villains Wiki I've just discovered, which is weapons.
Yeah.
And Chucky's weapons are as follows. His hands, water, electricity, toy hammer, traps, voodoo magic, as mentioned, zapper helmet, good guys manufacturer machine, jump rope, plastic bag, air pump, yardstick, and it goes on for 50 different weapons, whereas Candyman has sharp hook.
That's about it. Candyman is
that's all he needs,
only
though.
working with one weapon here.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Right,
don't forget, a jack of all trades is a master of none. So I think that...
But better than a master of one is the full quote. So get on my level, Chucky beats Candyman.
Okay, so here's my question, though. This is very important. Is Chucky susceptible to Candyman's hypnoticism?
Be my victim.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, he's a person in a doll body.
In the doll body,
right?
yes.
So we have to ask, how does Candyman do his mind control?
I mean, if you ask me, it's just inherently that he's very sexy. Therefore,
okay. So Chucky would be weak to it. I was thinking the only way he couldn't be is if it was a kind of it has to be a human to human, like a fluid.
Well, I mean, it could be human to human. We don't know. We never see Candyman mesmerize anything that isn't a human.
Yeah, Candyman 2, Now the Dogs is the Taken or whatever. Yeah, I think Chucky would be susceptible to that. Okay. My question is, does Chucky have access to a mirror?
Okay. Well, I think assumedly in this matchup, Candyman we have summoned him for purposes of this competition, so he's out. Are you asking if Chucky could get him back into the mirror?
Yeah, or do we have his portrait of Dorian Gray that we have it, and Chucky would need to defeat us in order to destroy the painting? Because that's a big. I think now we're bringing us into it.
I think we've summoned him for the purposes of sicking him on Chucky.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of screwed up what we're doing here, huh?
It's okay. It's all part of the process.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I'm still leaning Candyman. I mean, I think his main weakness really was similar to Pennywise. It's just, I guess there's people need to believe in him, I think.
Right. But if you're not afraid of Candyman, you're probably okay. And I don't think Chucky's afraid of anything.
This is fair. Mm-hmm. If Chucky is not afraid,
but being afraid of is different from
than
believing.
Yeah.
I mean, my gut still says Candyman, just because I think Chucky's whenever I talk to my friends about what horror villain do you think you could take? I think I could take Chucky because he is a doll.
But everybody thinks that even in the fiction of the thing. They're like, oh, it's a doll. And then the doll always ends up getting him.
And I know we talked about at the beginning, we said we're talking about them in their original version. But if we do extend it to then Chucky's later films, which I think are important for his character, he does have background family drama going on that might distract him from going for the gold.
And he is a trans ally, so he might not be able to hurt you or me.
That too,
which is interesting.
Thank you, Sci-Fi, for that. I'm still thinking that I'm going with Candyman. I could be swayed.
I do think it's Candyman.
But
yeah, I'm going with Candyman too. And I think besides the physicality he has, he can also just appear because that happens a couple of times in that first movie, especially with the doctor, and he jumps out the window after he slays him and everything. So he has the element of surprise where Chucky is still running around.
Yeah.
I think what we may need to get rid of for some of these matchups is the ability of the character to die. I don't think it matters because Chucky can't really die, but Candyman is gonna make him not want to fight him anymore, and that's kind of a win.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can safely call it Candyman. So
right.
Officially, cool. Ding 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 ding, and Chucky v Candyman, we're giving it to Candyman.
In the lawsuit of Candyman v Chucky. Landmark decision.
Yeah, goes to Candyman. Alrighty, next matchup. Who's stepping into the ring next? Let's find out.
If the hook fits, you must acquit.
Oh, get out of here.
All right, here's an I was excited for this one to come up. Frankenstein. OG Frankenstein versus Boris Karloff Frankenstein versus Bruce the Shark.
Okay.
All right, this is the one. This is something I've been waiting for.
Put Frankenstein in the ocean.
Yeah. Okay. So set the scene. Frankenstein is on a boat, being attacked by Bruce the Shark.
Okay.
I'm immediately going with Bruce.
That's the thing.
I don't see
Frankenstein making it out of this one.
Yeah,
I don't either. And it's not that far fetched that they would actually cross paths, I think, because in that movie, in the 31 movie, he does throw a little girl into the water, which would attract
What if Bruce
Bruce
was in there? Is what you're saying. What if they were in I almost
they share
called it
a
Carrie,
cinematic
Ohio,
universe, yes.
but it's not Carrie, Ohio. Ohio's a landlocked state. What if the water they threw them in was the ocean outside of Bruce's home?
Okay.
This
all right.
adds a whole new level.
Okay.
So my problem is like you said, I don't see Frankie getting out of this one. He's on a boat, presumably far enough away from the shore that escape to the shore is not possible. I think Frankenstein's only method of survival is escape, and that's not an option.
This is fair because in the second film we see he has the mental capacity to destroy the lab and stuff, but in the first one does he have he wouldn't think to use a hypodermic spear to kill the shark
or to shoot a barrel. The problem is that Bruce wants to kill and to murder, and Frankenstein wants to love and be loved, and that's the problem.
That's the thing. Now this matchup is making me sad because I think Frankenstein would try and be friends with the big friendly shark.
I think our problem is that we included Frankenstein's monster and not Frankenstein.
Well, because
Dr. Frankenstein
would lose every single one.
Every single time.
He's a punk ass bitch.
Yeah. And you can quote Adam on that.
There was no way
body,
he'd beat any
Victor.
of these.
And also, even if Frankenstein or the monster does try to escape, we've seen that Bruce is very capable of taking down a boat if he wants to.
He is, yes.
And he's very capable of taking down a regular-sized man. I don't think it's that much of a leap to take down a slightly larger man with bolts in his neck.
Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
Frankenstein's monster made out of dead human flesh, right?
Yes.
Does Bruce want to eat that?
Might be dirty, nasty, yucky.
Right.
I see.
Does eating already dead flesh poison Bruce the Shark down the line? And really, nobody makes
it. It's a Pyrrhic victory.
Get salmonella.
Yeah.
Does the fact that Frankenstein is a living, breathing being with meat that is not yummy to Jaws, Bruce, mean that Bruce can find companionship in the one person he doesn't want to eat, and they are actually friends, and Frankenstein succeeds?
This is the one that ends in no death.
Frankenstein's dead. We're sandbagging. We're avoiding the
I'm sorry.
The truth. Just that this good boy's dead and we can't save him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think this one's got to go to Bruce the Shark.
I wonder what Villains Wiki has to say about Bruce's weaknesses.
Powers.
His weaknesses or his powers?
Both.
Because his powers...
His strengths are shark.
Needs water.
Take Bruce out of water. He doesn't stand a chance.
No, there's no Bruce on the Villains Wiki. There is a Bruce Wayne, which is interesting. That's good that they find Batman to be a villain. Me too.
I think it's because the real villain in Jaws is capitalism, with the mayor not wanting to shut down.
Yeah.
Also in
beaches.
Batman.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Also, he couldn't be in this matchup though because he would get no-scoped by everybody.
Who, Batman? Yeah.
No, I mean Batman, but also I was talking about the mayor from Jaws.
Oh, okay.
Frankie would win that fight.
Frankie
yes, absolutely.
Would win that first. So, okay. So in the matchup, the third round of Bruce the Shark v. Frankenstein, we're giving it to Bruce the Shark, which is so far we're ending up with a very interesting final lineup. So let's move on to our next round, our next matchup. So our first competitor entering the Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Okay, just a guy.
Patrick Bateman v. Patrick Bateman v. Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Okay, two guys.
Matchup.
This is a good one.
Again, they might make out.
They could kiss.
They could absolutely kiss.
This is great because they're both melee weapon wielding characters, unless
both axes.
Patrick Bateman has unless we go with the chainsaw for
fair.
Patrick Bateman, but he has to be naked when he uses it.
This is fair. Melee. Is he fully clothed with the axe, or is he naked with the chainsaw? Because that's going to produce
which is more dangerous.
Fights.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is that Jack Torrance is kind of a warrior, whereas Patrick Bateman is more of a rogue.
This is fair. Okay. Patrick Bateman would, Jack Torrance is just going to go for it. Patrick Bateman's going to try and earn your trust first.
But Jack Torrance ain't falling for that.
No.
Or is he? I mean, does Patrick Bateman exploit Jack's instability, convincing him that he is a ghost, and that there's no purpose in hurting him? Well, if we're putting these people into an arena like Beyblades so that they can fight each other, I don't think we give them that chance. I think it could happen.
Okay. Sorry, I keep belching over here. I think I'm kind of giving this to Jack Torrance just because I think that he is more of a fighter than Patrick Bateman. Patrick Bateman, and it's also like, did Patrick Bateman actually do those things?
This is fair.
Where we know Jack Torrance for sure did.
Right, and the thing is, Jack Torrance wants to do the thing and doesn't care who sees, whereas like for Patrick it's very much a serial killer kind of thing, and most serial killers are like actually pretty fragile people, so Jack has no trouble, Jack is not one to give up, and we see that in the movie. He literally fights to the death, whereas Patrick Bateman almost cries because of business cards. So Exactly. Yeah. No, I think Jack Torrance, especially in the movie,
does this. Yeah.
Because in the book, Patrick Bateman is like an even worse dude who does a lot of crazy stuff just kind of because. Whereas in the movie, it's a bit less crazy. So if we're going by movie, I think Jack kind of walks all over.
I also I wasn't sure, but I agree with you. I think it should be given to Jack. And then may I say, Wendy Torrance would wreck shop on both of these dudes.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Shelley Duvall would end both of their careers at the same time.
Yeah, both as an actress and as a character.
Yeah, but I think I think I agree. I think Jack has the edge over Patrick.
Let's keep going.
Interesting.
Baby.
All right, next one, because we're starting to get with a smaller list, so we might be able to do kind of a final bracket at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, first competitor, Ghostface, original Scream. So this is the tag team of Billy and Stu.
Okay.
Interesting. But they can't. I think with them, they can't be in the ring at the same time. They can only tap each other out. Ooh.
Much like a tag match.
Well, I don't know.
No?
I might amend that. I think that they gotta be. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out.
Teamwork has to be pretty pivotal.
They're going up against Carrie White.
Oh, kind of their perfect prey.
Carrie.
Yeah, it is the perfect prey, but it's also the perfect prey for her too.
Yeah, that's true.
This is interesting.
Yeah,
this is
good
really
to put the teenagers together.
Yeah.
That we're making fight to the death.
Wow, this wheel knows what it's doing.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay, so this is interesting because is it possible that Skeet Ulrich would be able to seduce Carrie White? And
now we're talking.
Oh, Carrie.
Now we're talking about what's happening.
Oh, no.
I mean, because I feel like that's Billy's main card.
Yeah.
In this is that he has to use his charm.
This is fair. Well, like I think that Billy could convince Carrie not to hurt. At first, not to hurt them, but like, do they make it all the way through? Are they able to kill her before she realizes and she completely annihilates them?
Yeah.
See, that's the tough part.
Because she could.
Yeah.
Well, she 100% has the ability to.
Let's get really meta about this. Billy and Stu have done their homework because they've watched Carrie. So they already know. They already have a game plan for this.
Yeah.
This is fair. This is very premeditated for them. They would know what to do.
I did not expect me to be this much pro Ghostface because when I first saw this, like, oh, Ghostface would probably die super easy.
Yeah.
But I didn't consider the strategy homework aspect of it.
Yeah, that's kind of that movie's whole thing.
Yeah, is that they know what's coming. Well,
I think they're pretty
watched a few
dangerous
movies,
in this.
took a few notes. It was fun.
Well,
yeah.
It's interesting because Carrie is technically not, I wouldn't call Carrie the villain of Carrie.
Right.
And, Billy and Stu know their way really well around horror movie villains. They know how horror movie villains operate. They are less able to predict how a horror movie protagonist is going to operate. And I feel like that's what they're facing with Carrie.
Yeah, it's kind of like they watched Carrie and like thought of her as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like this list was made by them and not by you, Adam.
Right.
Like that they watched the movie and they didn't understand that it was like a commentary going on and that they just see Carrie as the bad person, as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've prepared to deal with Carrie as a villain, but what they actually need to deal with is Carrie as protagonist. And that's that's a lot.
This is
another point against Ghostface in this is that they do well when everything's going according to plan, when they are orchestrating it. But when things hit the wall and they have to improv, they're very bad at it.
Yes.
And they're bad at thinking on their feet.
So how does Carrie do in the improv game?
Well, nothing Carrie does
well.
nothing Carrie does is premeditated.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we've turned it on Ghostface.
Here's the thing. I think no matter who wins ultimately in the end, Stu dies. Stu does not make it out of this.
Okay, that's important. Stu dies.
That's an interesting change to that.
Yeah, I don't know if Stu makes it out of this. I think it would end up being Billy v. Carrie, not Billy and Stu v. Carrie.
And if that's true, doesn't Carrie still win that? Like if you split Billy and Stu.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be. I feel like both members have to make it out of the cage to go into the next round.
I don't know anymore. At first, I was like,
the problem is.
At first, I was like, "Oh, Carrie, easy."
And then I was like, "No, definitely Ghostface." But now I don't know.
Yeah, if one of them wins, but one of their pair is dead, then it becomes a kind of Roman Colosseum thing, and us three have to give the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and that's really I'm not letting him leave. So,
you're letting Carrie.
Honestly, even if Ghostface wins, he loses.
That's the thing. I want Carrie to win. I think it's all about. I think absolutely Billy could charm Carrie into not harming them. I think it's all about whether or not Billy and Stu have enough time to kill her before she realizes what's going on.
But do we think that Carrie isn't good at sniffing that stuff out after all she's gone through?
Okay, after all she's gone through, this is fair. She is dead at the end of the movie, but.
Well,
True.
This is fair. Because I think Carrie 100% has the ability to kill Stu and Billy, but whether she's going to get the opportunity in a battle of wits, in a battle of strategizing.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I feel like I'm leaning Ghostface now.
Okay.
We're going to make some people angry with this one. People are going to get mad about this one.
Adam, you're on
upsets
Ghostface. Brucker, where are you?
I'm kind of on the fence, but I'm kind of going Ghostface just because of that. Because I feel like that they have a plan. But
let it be known that I want Carrie to win. But I think
right. I think that's where we're going to end up. Yeah. I think that's where we are. Is Ghostface wins tragically.
Yeah, I want Carrie to win, but I think I got to give it to Ghostface. Although, knowing the rest of this lineup, I don't think they're going to make it very far in the rest of the bracket anyway.
We'll see.
Make it out of the semi.
Let's see. Okay, let's do our next one.
That was a good one.
All right, 1999 Imhotep, not original Boris Karloff Imhotep. Brendan Fraser, 1999 Imhotep from The Mummy, versus, this will be an interesting one, versus Herbert West from Reanimator.
Okay.
Interesting pair up. I like it.
I'm immediately going with Imhotep.
I as well, because
it's a mummy.
This is a huge supernatural advantage. That Imhotep is a supernatural being, and Herbert West is truly just a guy.
He's a med student.
And I think if it was Herbert West v and a lot like Herbert West v I think if we had put Herbert West v. Ghostface, then Herbert West would have maybe edged them out a little bit. Because they're equally smart. I would say that Herbert's probably smarter than Billy and Stu.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
but is he smarter than dark Egyptian magic?
Yeah, it's the thing is that I don't think he could outdo Imhotep.
Yeah, because Imhotep has the ability to suck him dry.
Yeah.
You know, he does like he'll be able to suck his life force.
Right then and there.
Scarab beetles and.
Mm-hmm.
Imhotep's got a lot going for him, and Herbert West is not. Unless Herbert West could find some, because Imhotep is still a dead body, right? He's not like a spirit or anything. He's a dead body. So unless Herbert could,
how regenerated is Imhotep in this?
Where is he? I guess he's kind of like that halfway point that where he's like mobile and stuff. Like where we get him like halfway through the movie, he has the ability.
So he's getting like
fight.
2 out of 4 of those Americans.
Yeah. I've got Imhotep has demonstrated that he was virtually invulnerable to the weapons of the modern age, including both guns and swords.
That's fair.
Though a shotgun was able to stun him temporarily. It is also logical to assume that he is immune to all known ailments and narcotics.
Okay,
that's interesting.
This is my question: does reagent have an effect on Imhotep?
Whoa, that's what we're talking about.
That's my
question.
question.
This is interesting because
that would bring him back.
It would bring him back, quote, quote, but in the way that reagent brings everybody back, which turns them into these.
But he's already brought back through magic, so does it cancel it out?
Yeah,
but
so
are
if
we
he
calling
takes
Imhotep alive? Are we calling him a human?
I think he's a dead body possessed by a spirit, right?
Okay.
So if reagent has an effect on him, it would turn him into a reanimated thing, which I think would be weaker than Imhotep.
Yes, because what happens
I think it would weaken him.
The reagent cycle is that when you inject a dead body with reagent, it is reanimated into this mindless, very violent zombie. And then if you administer more reagent, you overdose it, it dies again.
Yeah.
So where is Imhotep on? I still don't think
Imhotep.
I still don't think Herbert's getting the opportunity to inject Imhotep with reagent.
Yeah.
But I am curious about what would happen.
Well, because the point you made about the opportunity to inject him, because I can't remember if he has this ability during mid regeneration, but Imhotep has that ability to just like poof into sand and swirl around.
Yeah, and he can like control sand.
Yes.
He's like Gara from Naruto. He could play the sand burial, and then he would. I want to talk. This is really just this episode for me is a perusal of the Villains Wiki. Powers and skills of Imhotep. Vast magical powers of the gods of ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
I think that alone makes it kind of hard for.
That's the thing is I really don't think there's any scenario in this where Herbert West would win, but I do want to know what would happen if you injected Imhotep with reagent.
Yeah. I also just want to talk about the goals listed here for Imhotep.
Okay, go ahead.
Take over the world of the living. Failed, in parentheses.
Yeah.
Retrieve the Book of the Dead and the Sacred Jars. Succeeded.
Yeah.
And of course, revive his lover, Ankh Sunamun.
Yeah.
Ultimately succeeded.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Romeo and Juliet, really.
Yeah.
So,
I don't,
but back to your question, Adam.
Hobby, gaining power. Isn't it all of our hobbies, really?
Oh, man. But Adam, to your question about what would happen, I think that nothing would happen because doesn't there need to be like tissue?
This is fair.
For the reagent to get into, and he's just skeleton. I mean, they do say he's juicy, but I don't think there's actual
mummy,
tissue.
Though. He's a mummy.
So there is.
So there's stuff there.
There's a skeleton, but I don't think that there's
a skeleton. There's dehydrated skin, and then there's like jars inside of him, sacks that have organs.
Well, reagent. I don't know the exact. I'd have to rewatch the movie, but there's something about it having to be injected into the brain, right? And Imhotep doesn't have a brain. His brain's in a jar somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, not for Imhotep, because remember, he got the worst burial because he got wrapped and put in the sarcophagus alive with the scarabs.
You're right.
We need to rewatch The Mummy, Adam.
Okay, yeah.
So like all of his tissue, I guess maybe his tissue is still, because when they open him up, they go, "Oh, he's juicy."
Yeah.
Like he's
great line.
been like,
but that was more of a
thank you, 1999.
Yeah, that was more of a line about his ass, I think.
Again, I think
this mummy's caked up.
I think I think we're getting into technicalities here. There's no way Herbert West is winning this competition. I think it is 100%
this
going to...
This corked up mummy is busting it down sexual style.
I think it's 100% going to Imhotep the caked up mummy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were just having fun.
Yeah, okay. We've got, I think it is 4 pairings left to go until we get to a final bracket.
All right.
Alrighty, let's do this. Next up, we got Freddy Krueger. About time we got to him.
Okay.
He's going to be one to beat. Freddy Krueger v. Ooh, Freddy Krueger v. Black Phillip from The Witch.
Wow.
So literally the devil, but also a goat.
Interesting.
This is interesting. Both, I think, operate on belief systems. If you don't believe in Freddy, he doesn't really bother you. If you don't believe in the devil, he tends to leave you alone.
I think he likes that.
But he also is kind of into it.
I don't think the devil cares about belief or anything. I think... I don't know, because what's that saying? You know, like that was the greatest trick he played on the world was
convincing people that he wasn't real. Yeah.
So I don't.
Which is a stupid saying, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people believe that the devil exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh, it didn't say he was good at it. But, I'm kind of leaning Black Phillip, but I'm not sure why.
Okay. Well,
besides there's that it's the devil.
Does Freddy work for Satan? Like, is that?
What's
that place that like the people dream of? That's like the pipes and everything.
Yeah, the boiler room.
Furnace.
Yeah.
Boiler room. Is that hell?
That hell, or is that kind of is this a pantheon situation? And the devil's there. The devil is the god of hell, whereas Freddy Krueger is the god of dreams, and those are two separate things.
Is Freddy just renting real estate from Beelzebub?
Because like Freddy's always had a slightly. Like, not even slightly, but like a kind of demonic angle, kind of Catholic angle going about him. Like that one of the first line he says in the first movie is like, "This is God," about his claws. So we're kind of jumping right in from a religious point there. Because then if Freddy serves the devil, then he doesn't stand a chance.
Ooh, right. I don't think he would want to.
There is also a lot of like Catholicism and Christianity imagery in that first movie. Yeah. With like the lamb at the beginning, and there's even a crucifix in someone's room and stuff like that. This is a crazier matchup than I thought.
Yeah.
Man. I originally had Freddy going super far.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know if he would be taken down by Black Phillip.
I don't know if he has any ability to harm the devil, even if he wanted to. Does the devil sleep? I think that's also a saying, right?
We're talking about Black Phillip here specifically, and Black Phillip is at his core a goat. He is also the devil, but he is a goat.
Do goats dream?
Do goats dream? This is a fair question.
Do goats dream? What does it mean when you dream about a goat? Not what I'm asking. Are goats mean? I don't think that really comes.
Are goats mean? Did Black Phillip take the shape of a man at the end of that movie? Do we see legs?
We never see, but we hear his boots. I think we see like legs at one point, but we hear his boots walking around that old English, that old American shack. Where are they? They're in America, right?
New England.
Right.
Domestic goats, and therefore likely wild goats, have also been shown to have REM and dream sleep in studies that have been done.
All right.
So they do dream. Okay, so the point devil for Freddy.
Yeah, so if Black Phillip is the devil at the point of battle, no chance. If Black Phillip is doing his goat stuff and having a little goat dream, then Freddy can get in there. I
mean, Black Phillip does do quite a bit of damage in The Witch or the Vivitch. Like he.
What'd you call me?
He wrecked shop on what's his name? The dad. Who's the actor that plays his dad?
Oh,
he's a very famous actor.
Jeff Foxworthy.
That would be close. Good though. Oh, it's Ralph Ineson. He's in a bunch of other stuff, but sure. I digress.
Hey, there's a pop figure of Black Phillip.
Yeah, there is.
Culture's really dead, huh?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give this one to Black Phillip.
Okay. I think that's a safe choice. I think it's wild that we're kicking Freddy Krueger out.
I know. It kills me to kick Freddy out this early.
But wow. I think what we have to do with the final bracket is kind of throw them in.
Okay.
You know?
Throw Freddy back in there.
See who
or
would...
just maybe
No. I mean, once we're through these last three, I think what we need to do is take the remainder and choose who's gonna like come out.
Oh yeah,
choose our
100%.
Like, our goats, our like top three who we think are going to the top.
100%. It's definitely what we're gonna do. Yeah, I think I gotta go with Black Phillip.
All right.
Yeah.
It kills me, but I think I gotta do it.
It feels weird to say.
Yeah, it feels wrong, but all right.
It feels right to say Black Phillip wins. It feels wrong to say that Freddy Krueger loses.
This is fair. Yeah.
That's the problem.
All right, so
it's all been matchup dependent.
We got Jason Voorhees, actual Jason, not Pamela Voorhees as Jason, but the Jason Voorhees.
Like zombie or like pre-zombie or post-zombie?
I guess I'll call it pre-zombie because he gets a lot of weird supernatural abilities when he becomes a zombie, right? So.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'll call
important distinction.
Yeah. Versus Dracula. Bela Lugosi Dracula. Interesting.
My immediate thoughts are Dracula.
I was thinking that too because if we're talking non-zombie Jason Voorhees here, again, Dracula has the power.
Jason.
Human Jason thusly has the power of hypnotizing, of mesmerizing Jason.
Yeah.
There does exist a scenario where Jason does stab him with a stake because that is not outside the realm of possibilities.
It's not,
for
but
something
Jason is armed with his signature weapon, which is a machete, which I don't know.
Okay, good point.
Which I don't know would do the same damage to Bela Lugosi Dracula.
I don't think so. And there's absolutely no holy water at Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, there's nothing holy about that establishment.
How dare you don't know if nobody's praying there. What if one of the kids is like me and they have one of those? Did you have these, Adam?
What?
Where you could get a little souvenir cross with a little bowl in it and you could put holy water in it so you could bless yourself?
I have had that in the past, but I don't currently have one.
Oh, well, you know.
I mean, yeah, again, I'm a little surprised to not let Jason Voorhees win, but I've always thought of Jason Voorhees as not one of the tougher.
Yeah.
One of the tougher.
He becomes more and more powerful the more he dies.
Yes.
Right. So that the fact that he is not yet dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's also pretty limited by certain things. I don't know. I think that this is Dracula, hands down, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
It's hard to beat Dracula.
I think Dracula is also hard to beat.
I think history has shown pretty hard to beat Dracula.
He's got lifespan on him, if nothing else, above almost everyone else in this competition. Almost, not everybody. All right, we're down to, I think, what will end up being the last couple battles. So,
hey, here's a fun ability of Jason Voorhees: speed swimming. Despite the fact that Jason could not swim when he was a kid, when he was a full-grown adult,
for the video
Jason
game.
was able to catch people quicker when they were on a boat in the lake at a distance. So that's fun.
Odd. All right, so we've got Jigsaw, John Kramer, the man. Now, because he's got a pretty severe handicap here, being that he is simply an old dude.
He's an engineer.
I'm putting
this one has a full sentence in the breakdown.
This fight is happening in his workshop. So he's got his bag of tricks. So in Jigsaw's workshop is where this fight is taking place.
Right, but it's a surprise attack.
Yes, it is a surprise attack.
He hasn't had time to prepare traps specifically for his opponent.
But
That's
if he's got stuff lying around, like I can't remember which movie it is, but in one of the movies, somebody forces a reverse bear trap on someone else. Not a premeditated trap, but he's just got some of those lying around. So
he's just got bear traps around.
So we've got Jigsaw versus, I'm really trying to help Jigsaw out here because I don't think there's a universe where he wins. Jigsaw v. Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Yeah, poor John Kramer. I don't really think there's any world where I would like to see Michael Myers in a saw trap, but that's not what this is. That's not what this is about.
Yeah, no.
That's hard, man.
There's no trap that could fit that shape.
He is large.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think Michael Myers is gonna. I think he's annihilating John Kramer. I wonder, is there anybody on this list that John Kramer could beat?
Maybe Herbert West?
Yeah, maybe he could take Herbert West.
Yeah, I think most of the non-powered humans he could beat. I think he could beat Carrie. I think he could beat the Billy and Stu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to see Billy and Stu in
Bateman.
a saw trap. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that John Kramer would destroy Patrick Bateman.
Oh,
like
you're
Bateman,
so
by the
right.
End of the fight would be like crying.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
What about Leatherface? That's an interesting matchup.
Interesting. My thing is with Leatherface is that, and he'll be in one of these next 2 lineups because we still haven't got to him yet, but I don't think John Kramer will be able to get Leatherface into a trap. Like, I don't think the kidnap would work.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Right. Final 2 rounds before we decide our final bracket. So these are going to be interesting. So we've got the Tethered family from us, so all 4 of them.
Okay.
Versus
Xenomorph.
versus the Leprechaun. This is interesting.
Okay, so I will admit the Leprechaun is a blind spot for me.
Okay, all right.
So does he have magic powers?
He does have magic powers.
Okay.
I will.
Have you ever seen Luck of the Irish on Disney Channel?
I will.
Oh, 100
pretty
times,
much
yes.
that.
I will. Okay, so some of Leprechaun's powers include magic.
Making potato chips.
Yeah. Magic, shape-shifting, teleportation, mind control, telekinesis, and pyrokinesis. His
Lucky Charms.
His hobbies include collecting and counting his gold, killing and torturing anyone who steals his gold. Goals: collect
Not
all
really
of his
a power.
gold, ongoing. Kill anyone who gets in his way, ongoing.
Well, yeah.
So yes, he does have magical abilities, but they're all really concerning his gold. So presumably in this matchup, his gold is in danger.
Interesting.
And the Tethered...
I'm kind of going with the family.
Here's the thing. The Tethered family, the Tethered Wilsons are not supernatural. They seem like they would be, but they're really just... they're all genetically created doppelgangers. So they do have kind of like an up on strength, but they don't have any supernatural abilities at their advantage, but they are kind of relentless. They will not give up.
Yeah, so... I'm looking at the Leprechaun's powers and skills, and one of them is essokinesis.
Yeah, what's that?
It's reality manipulation. so they might be in a pretty hard position.
Yeah. that would get an upper hand on the Tethered Wilsons now, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. And from what I understand about the Leprechaun, he's kind of a jokester.
He is. He's
right?
a trickster.
Kind of
yes.
Yeah, trickster. Yeah. So I don't know why, but I feel like that element kind of gives you a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I think it would put them off their game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Tethered family, they're pretty
he's having too much fun
the work
with
they
it.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'm leaning Leprechaun now.
Now I also think I might be leaning Leprechaun, which I didn't know that there was going to be. I mean, he is arguably one of the most powerful beings on this list. It's just what he chooses to use those powers to do that are often stupid.
Yeah, why doesn't he cure cancer? He doesn't want to cure cancer. He wants to turn people into dinosaurs.
Yeah. Maybe it does go to Leprechaun.
I think we're putting Leprechaun up on the bracket.
Tethered v Leprechaun, we end with Leprechaun. And this ends then our kind of I can't spell the word leprechaun and talk at the same time, sorry. This kind of
No, we have one more.
Yeah, our final matchup, which is
poor Leatherface
versus the Queen Xenomorph from Alien.
Sorry, Leatherface. Later. Sorry.
You think?
Goodbye.
Like, is that definite for you?
I have zero doubt. I have to be honest here. I don't care how many powers these things have. I think Queen Xenomorph is taking the whole thing. And
whoa,
that's interesting.
Just me spoiling my thoughts for the end.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. Let's think about this for a second.
Yeah.
So Leatherface has his chainsaw, correct?
Yes, Leatherface has his chainsaw.
Or chainsaw and hammer, or just
I'm going to say just
chainsaw. Okay. Man, I don't know.
What good is a chainsaw gonna do against the Xenomorph? Like, we're in a spaceship.
It's true.
We are in a spaceship.
Leatherface is off his game. He's spooked. He's in zero gravity. He doesn't know what's going on. The Xenomorph is gonna rip him to shreds.
Because even if he does stab or cut with the chainsaw, the Xenomorph's blood is acidic, right? It'll just
and that chainsaw's gonna throw it around.
This is fair. It does present a danger.
And Leatherface is way more motivated to kill actual humanoids than creatures.
You might have been right, Devin. Maybe it is a definite shoo-in for the Xenomorph.
I really under the Queen Xenomorph's crimes on the Villains Wiki is destruction and mass murder.
I mean, yeah.
Hobby, advancing the hive.
I wouldn't call that a hobby.
I was trying to think if there would be any sort of weird, like, psychological dilemma because Leatherface doesn't exactly. There's no like mother figure or
this is fair
matriarch in that was the Sawyer family.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like he's just somehow kind of like mesmerized, but like a mother.
Maybe Xenomorph is his new mom.
That's the positive way this comes. If Slenderman and Pennywise can end kissing, this can end with the Xenomorph adopting Leatherface.
Leatherface.
Yeah.
So
Devin, I think you're right.
We need to say, Xenomorph Queen is like the bad Xenomorph from the original Alien. Yes.
Yes.
Or from Aliens, because she's not in Alien.
Well,
but we want like the most powerful Xenomorph.
Yeah, like the Xenomorph.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right.
I think this goes Xenomorph.
Yeah. Okay, so that we have a sort of discussion of how we want to do these. Or do we want to? Oh, I just fixed my list. Hold on. Do we want to do the rest of the competition? Where we just like pair them kind of like side by side, or do we want to randomize them again? Because I can do either.
I think we need to run down the list and decide who's out. And that kind of gives us our top people.
We can also just do, because I just put all of our winners. Our winners are thus far Slenderman, Candyman, Bruce the Shark, Jack Torrance, Ghostface, Imhotep, Black Phillip, Dracula, Michael Myers, the Leprechaun, and the Xenomorph. I already put them into another wheel, so we can just rapid fire pair 2 and 2 and decide who wins. Or do you just want to?
Yeah, let's rapid fire them, and we're just going to go straight up and down vote because we have 3 people.
All right, let's do it. First competition. This is on to our, and then we can kind of parse it out. So we've got Xenomorph v. Leprechaun.
Oof. See, that was going to be the hard one that I was literally going to say.
And Leprechaun's been to space. I know that.
Leprechaun has been to space.
I think it's still Xenomorph because it's the opposite problem that the Leprechaun had with the family, where Leprechaun isn't taking this fight seriously enough.
Okay. I'm going to give it to Xeno.
Can't. Yeah.
Xeno, all right.
Can't not take it seriously.
Next, we got Ghostface, Billy Sue Ghostface v. Jack Torrance.
Jack Torrance,
Oof.
I think.
You think Jack?
Torrance, I think.
Now, they do have experience with kidnapping fathers, but Cindy's dad was definitely not armed or anything.
Yeah, they've never dealt with this father, which is the tagline of my Ghostface v. Jack movie.
You never dealt with this father.
I would say arguably they're more prepared to fight Jack than they are to fight Carrie, but Jack's got the edge of Jack's not going to give up till they're dead. Like Billy and Stu would give up before Jack did.
Yeah, so that's
Jack. All right, give it to Jack. Okay, next.
Crazy. Love it.
Yeah, we're going to get to an interesting final showdown. Bruce the Shark v. Candyman. Toughie.
Is he on a ship again?
Back on the boat, yeah.
I think I'm
going
Bruce.
Candyman?
Candyman.
I think it's...
Because he has a hook. That's the natural thing to get a fish.
He does have a hook.
Okay, I'm going Bruce. Brucker's going...
I don't want to be the tiebreaker
Candyman.
on this.
You are the deciding vote.
I don't want to have the deciding vote on this.
Well,
I think, you know what? I think Candyman has the intelligence up on Bruce that... who fought him before that Frankenstein didn't. I think Candyman could figure out how to kill Bruce the Shark.
Candyman.
So I'm moving Candyman forward. Alrighty. Imhotep v. Oh, I realized that I don't think this is an even number, so we're gonna have one extra. Imhotep v. Black Phillip.
Oh
gosh.
Wow. I think
Black Phillip.
I was gonna say Imhotep.
That's interesting.
Because we're talking about 2 different god systems here, so the devil really doesn't have any power over Imhotep.
Great point. The thing I had for going against Imhotep is that we've only seen him suck life forces from humans, not creatures or animals, as far as I know. So I don't know what else I don't think he would be able to suck the flesh off of Black Phillip.
Yes.
I think that's a strong thought. I think Imhotep has like the power of all the Egyptian gods, whereas Black Phillip really only has the power of two things, the devil and ghost, which I think falls.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Man.
I think I might be giving this one to Imhotep.
Okay, and Brucker, you want to give it to Black Phillip?
I think I've swung back over the Imhotep.
Okay, Imhotep.
All right, Imhotep it is.
Move it on.
All right, so we're going to have one extra because this wasn't an even number. So we'll get the final two and then we'll throw. So we got
They get off easy.
Dracula v. Michael Myers.
I was just thinking
Dracula.
that. Oh,
it's Dracula.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think Michael Myers stands, I think he stands a chance, but I don't think, I think he falls pretty, I think it might be a drawn out fight.
Okay.
This one may last a while, but in the end, it's Dracula.
Could Dracula get close enough to Michael, though, to really bite and kill him?
He can turn into a dang bat, Adam.
Yeah, but bats are tiny.
Yeah, and Michael does kill a lot of
Michael's
animals.
really big and does kill animals.
I'm trying to think, man, because I think that if he decapitates him, that's it. But I think Michael's only done one, maybe two decapitations that I'm aware of.
Yeah, and we're putting the bar pretty high if we're asking him to decapitate Dracula.
But I think I'm edging it to Michael Myers, which is surprising because I would be rooting for Dracula. But
I don't know. I think that this is a toss up, really. I think, and I think it'll be a drawn out fight, like Devin said, but I think I'm giving the edge to Dracula.
Interesting. All right, Devin, what's your?
I think that's Dracula.
Do you think it's Dracula? All right, give it to Dracula.
Yeah, that's 2-1.
So that leaves us with the Xenomorph, Jack Torrance, Candyman, Imhotep, Dracula, and Slenderman.
Wow.
Okay.
Slenderman got the bye?
Well, yeah,
awesome.
Slenderman got by because he didn't get picked as a
For him.
random seed.
Yeah, so he's actually going to be powered up in the finals
Yeah, he
because he
have
had a
to
bye
fight.
week.
Or is he rusty? We'll see.
Oh, he's been sitting on the bench too long.
So
are we? Do we want to
okay.
Do we want to randomize these final ones, or is this what we're gonna?
No, I think we need to decide. So give me the list again.
The Xenomorph, Jack Torrance, Candyman, Imhotep, Dracula, and Slenderman. I think. Okay, let me eliminate. I think we can eliminate Dracula. I think we can eliminate
Dracula
Jack Torrance
would
as well.
go down. Jack definitely goes down.
Jack, and I think we can eliminate Dracula. I think as
Really? You think we could eliminate Dracula that easily?
well, I mean,
Well, up against. Well, here's the thing. If Dracula's out, I think Candyman is out as well.
Because I wouldn't have put Candyman. Okay, so hold on. I think Jack is definitely out.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Jack is out. So we have Xenomorph, Candyman, Imhotep, Dracula, Slenderman.
Okay.
I think Slenderman might be the next one.
I think Slenderman.
I think Slenderman and Candyman would be the next to go, followed by Dracula. I think the final lineup is Imhotep versus the Xenomorph, which I think is so good.
That is a good fight. So you think in order,
it's like ancient...
in order of going down is Jack followed by Slenderman, followed by Candyman,
/ Candyman,
followed by Dracula. Yeah. I think Candyman lasts longer than Slenderman.
That's fair. I'm a Slenderman stan. We all know this. So
yeah, Jack's out, Slenderman goes out, Candyman goes down, Dracula goes down, which leaves the Xenomorph v. Imhotep.
Xenomorph? I think if you ever watched Alien v Predator, there's like that whole ancient cultures thing going on. I think that's a good fight, and I don't think we decide it here.
You think what?
I think we have a discussion about what we think happens, and then
let the people decide.
We give it to the world. We put up a Twitter poll, a Patreon poll.
Okay, all right. Let the people decide the ultimate winner. No, don't crown a winner here. I will say my gut instinct is the Xenomorph.
That's mine too, which is wild because Imhotep is an eldritch, powerful being empowered by the entire Egyptian pantheon.
That's the thing is,
but
I don't
think
know
Queen Xenomorph takes
what's
it.
swaying me to the Xenomorph so much.
I don't know. Okay, so you brought up Alien versus Predator. I'm trying to think. Because the Predators held up their own against them in that. But
yeah.
I know Predator's not in this conversation,
right.
but I'm just at least trying to present a case that they have the ability to lose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
They have the ability, but we don't see a queen in Aliens versus Predator. I'm going to go deep into the lore. We don't see a queen in Aliens versus Predator. We see the matriarch specifically.
Right.
Okay, so I guess like the point I was trying to make was that so I guess like it's established that Predators can hold their own against the Xenomorphs. Yes. So who do you think Imhotep would be able to overpower a predator. Thus, the transitive property Imhotep does stand a chance.
See, this is wild because now we're bringing in a non-horror person. We're bringing in Predator. I think Imhotep loses to a Predator. I think
Interesting.
That's
okay.
I think Imhotep is too human to win against the Xenomorph.
That's exactly what, like, because a Predator just murks a human, just absolutely destroys a human. I think the fight between the Predator and Imhotep would be possibly close, but then Imhotep would lose.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is...
I think I'm going with the Xenomorph, but I also do think we should put it to a poll and then allow the poll to crown the winner.
Yeah.
I think it is a poll to crown the winner. I think we might want to talk about commissioning Gav to draw a Xenomorph standing atop Imhotep or Imhotep standing atop a dead Xenomorph, depending on who wins.
And I think...
I will say, Xenomorphs have fought on pyramids before. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, the ancient culture thing is cool.
I also think this episode is going to make a lot of people very angry.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you're still listening, kudos to you.
Thanks.
You have tough skin. Yeah.
People heard the Leprechaun win. And
we let Leprechaun. I don't think anybody's going to listen past us letting Leprechaun through, so it doesn't really matter what happens now.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, let's leave it to you decide who wins in the final showdown. Is it a Xenomorph?
It's an epic rap battle of history. Who wins? You decide.
Is it the Xenomorph or is it Imhotep?
All right. Well, hey, thank you for listening to this episode of The Great American Scream. If you enjoyed, please leave a rate and review on iTunes or rate us and follow us on Spotify. That's a new thing. Be sure to tell a friend about the show. It's the best way to spread the word. Adam, can you pimp our social medias, please?
Yes, I can. You can check us out on Facebook at The Great American Scream or on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Great Scream Pod. We are going to put a poll on Twitter so that you can vote on who you think would win in that final battle. There is also already, by the time this episode is out, already a bracket on Twitter. So hopefully you looked at it and filled it out beforehand. If not, I don't know, go look at it for fun. I worked really hard on it. I'm sure future me worked really hard on it. I want to say thank you so much to Brucker for joining us on this competition today. Brucker, can you tell all the lovely people where to find all your stuff?
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. And you can find Autopsy, the horror movie, anywhere that you find podcasts. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brucker Horror. And Brucker is Brucker.
Yes, please go listen to Autopsy of a Horror Movie. It's a great podcast. If you like what we do here, you will like what Brucker does over there.
Yes, and both of you have been on there a few times, so there's episodes for people to go check out.
Woohoo!
Yeah, this is we are a throuple of podcast hosts that love working together, but not in a romantic or sexual way. Hey, thank you so much to Stevie Viola, who does the intro and outro music, as well as Michael Seguda, who does the intro disclaimer. A super special shout out to all of our patrons on the Man in the Fields tier or higher. Thank you to Regina, Ben, Gail, Joyce, Melinda, and Chris. I've been Devin Wright.
I've been Adam O'Connell.
And I've been Brucker.
And hopefully you have been spooked.
Woo! Please vote. I can't wait to see who wins this.
Yes.
It's a Xenomorph.